This is the Spartan Body Mind Podcast. I'm your host, Seth Winterhalter. We are here to help you operate at peak performance, both in the physical and the mental. Today, we're going to dive into a topic. Again, I hear a lot of excuses when it comes to getting into physical shape. How do I eat right? How do I work out? How do I have disciplines? How do I have rhythms and routines? And one of the excuses is I'm just too busy. I'm too busy. We live in a busy world. We got a lot of things going on. So I want to dive into this topic. What do you do when you feel like you can't find the time to be physically healthy? When you struggle to make physical health, fitness, activity, diet, nutrition, sleep, recovery, what do you do when you have a difficult time making that a priority? Well, let's work through that. So we say, I'm too busy. Well, let's figure out that problem. What is the problem when it comes to I'm too busy? Well, we have these villains in our life. And the villains are these time sucks. And that doesn't mean these people or these things are bad. It just means aspects of them are we've got to figure it out. We've got to do some wrestling, some mind work to figure out, why do I continue to say I'm busy? Well, the villains are these time sucks, and it happens with work, happens with family and friends, it happens with ourself. And what happens is we have this external pressure. Everyone's interrupting us, right? We have a plan for the day, we have a schedule for the day, but we get interrupted. And the problems with those interruptions are people ask us things. People ask us to lay aside our schedule, our priorities, our to-do list, and to take on theirs. And that doesn't mean you can always say no, but can we just be honest? How many times have you said no? Most people, I myself included, struggle saying no. We want to help. We want to serve. We want to be the hero. We want to look good. We don't want to have negative conflict. So we have a problem saying no. No to more work. We have a problem saying no when we're asked to do work. No and it's not just a no, it's a priority. Oftentimes we'll say yes and then make that the predominant thing that needs to get done, instead of, if we do decide to say yes, figuring out where that fits in our already prioritized schedule. So we have these external interruptions, these external disruptions. And internally, we become tired. We become exhausted from all this busyness. And the busyness really is our own issue. The busyness, we're creating the busyness. So, the reality is we're not too busy. We're unaligned. We're misprioritized. And I get it. I've been there. I have a spouse. I have 4 children. I've been the CEO, director of an organization, staff, volunteers, a mission, and everyone's pulling, everyone's tugging. And the issue is, what gets left over then doesn't go to the gym, doesn't think about proper nutrition, thinks about falling into a chair, not falling onto a treadmill. But if I can become self-aware of the sabotages, if I can become more aware of how I need to learn to say no, I need to learn to create a schedule, a structure, a system in my life that allows me to know what I am prioritizing, what I am leaning into, what I am trying to accomplish, so that then when I'm asked, I can figure out if I can say yes. And if I do say yes, I can figure out where to actually put that in the alignment, because it can't go to the top. There's no way it can go to the top, because my vision, my mission, those priority things should always be at the top. And one of those should be your health. Now, when you prioritize health, and maybe this is the lie or the myth. Whatever you prioritize doesn't need to be the dominant thing in your life, right? I need 8 hours of sleep, right? I need to make that a priority. Is that the number one priority in my life? No, I can fudge, I can move that around, but I need to get good quality sleep, or else that impacts everything else. But that's not on the top of my list. I'm not writing that down at the top of my list. If I think some people think if I make health a priority, it means I'm going to be in the gym for 3 hours a day, and I've got to make 8 meals a day, and I've got to do all this meal prep, and I've got to. No. Sometimes we avoid what's hard because we make it harder than it is. We lie to ourselves to make it sound like it's so much work that we just can't make time for that. I'm too busy. You need to know what your priorities are. You need to know where your life is going. And you need to know, here, let's dive into this. This is why. You cannot use the excuse, I'm too busy. Especially when it comes to your physical fitness. I want you to think about an illustration. I want you to think about your car. You have a car. Almost everyone has a car, right? Unless you rock in the bus pass. So let's assume everyone has a car. You paid for that car, right? Or you were given that car, if you're fortunate. But there's an investment in that car. Even if you were given that car, you said yes to receiving that car or paying for that car because you justified the expense. You justified the maintenance because it serves a purpose for you. That car gets you from point A to point Z, right? Gets you to work, gets you to the grocery store, gets you to wherever you need to go. All these things that you've put into your life, prioritized in your life, that car is the vehicle, the vessel that gets you there. It is a vital component of your life. Now, do you stop and put gas in your car? Or do you just drive on E and expect the ferries to magically fill it up? Do you, when you run out of gas, get mad and go, how dare you, car? I paid for you. I paid good money for you, and you abandoned me. Is that what you do? No, you notice the fuel gauge going closer and closer to the magical E, and you make it a decision to get gas. The closer it gets to that E, the more the priority of you refueling gets, doesn't it? The closer it gets to empty, the more you have to say no to other things in your life to get to that gas station to fill it up. It's the same thing with an oil change. Now, that doesn't happen as regularly as getting gas. You need gas on a more regular basis, but you need the oil change too. Right? What is it? I don't know how many miles you hit. They tell you 5,000. If you have a Honda, it can probably go 10, right? So you get to 5, you get to 8, you start getting a little worried. You get to 10, and you're like, oh, I'm probably driving I just got sludge in my car. You get to 12, and then you're like, your ears start to you can't get in the car without hearing every little noise, thinking your car is just about to fall apart. You make it a priority. Get it done. Because what you don't want is that engine to seize up, and now instead of a $50 oil change, you have a $5,000 transmission fix. You're not too busy. You make it a priority. You take care of that investment. Friends, when are you going to start seeing your body as an investment, as the one vehicle, the one vessel you've been given to get you from point A to Z in this life? Every goal, every dream, every hope that you have is tied directly to your body, to that physical vessel that you have been given. If you don't take care of that body, how are you going to accomplish any of the goals, any of the hopes, any of the dreams? I want to get married. Okay, how are you going to do that if you can't get out of bed? How are you going to be the best self? How are you going to get dates with quality people if you have no energy to get out of the house, if you have no energy to put your best foot forward, to be vibrant, to be attractive, and I'm not saying you got to have six-pack abs and just the ultimate, whatever Vogue is saying is the perfect figure. I'm not saying that is what health has to be, but health is not obesity. Health is not, because when you are out of shape physically, you become out of shape mentally. It has a direct correlation. You want to know why you're so mentally exhausted and frustrated and tired and depressed and downtrodden. It's tied to physical. Now, physical isn't the only reality there. There are other components as well. But I'm telling you, if you're overweight and out of shape, I would solve that first before I went to some other directions. That's like saying, you know what? My car needs an oil change, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to paint it instead. Maybe that will solve the problem. And that's what we do. We go after cheap solutions. Oh, well, this person tells me that they can, I can do this shake program and I'll lose the weight. No, you just become more unhealthy. You'll destroy your metabolism. And then when you get off the program, you gain all the way back and you'd be more depressed because then you wasted time and money on something that did nothing. Are you going to take your car to the cheapest place to get your oil changed? Well, that tells you something about the investment. You don't really value that investment unless for some reason you think the cheapest place is the best place. And maybe it is where you live. I know that's not the case where I live. The cheapest place is the place where they forget to put some cap back on, or they put in your oil filter upside down. It sprays all over the place. That's what the cheapest gets you. Do you care about your body? Again, you're not too busy. You're just misaligned and misprioritized. You are not too busy to take care of the singular most important asset you have in this life, your body. Fuel it with the right food. Maintain it with the right use and activity to keep it functioning, to keep it at peak performance. Make the care of your body a priority because it's the only one you got. And don't wait. Don't wait until you blow the transmission. Put regular fuel into it at regular times. Get the oil changed on a regular basis, right? Do the work. And it will pay off for you. It'll run. I'm telling you, this is why, until my last car purchase, I've only owned Hondas my entire life. And there's nothing magical about Hondas. I'm not in love with Hondas. It's just, I just saw when I was a kid, a little bit later, not when I was a kid, when I was when I was a young adult, I saw, Hondas just seem to last forever. And I think for the most part, they still do. If you maintain it with the regular maintenance scheduled things, they just seem to run forever. Now, they may not be the most sexy car. I think Honda has a decent looking car. It's not, I won't disparage car companies. I'll just say it may not be a Beamer and flashy, but it don't look bad. And that's all I'm saying here. I'm not saying you got to be a Beamer Mercedes. You got to put all this time into making yourself look luxurious. I'm saying you need to make sure you can function because you have goals and dreams. And maybe you don't have goals and dreams anymore because your life's a hot mess. And I'm telling you, if you dialed in your nutrition, your sleep, and your activity, that doesn't mean you got to become an Olympic weightlifter. Let's start with some walking. Let's start with some resistance band training. Let's just start with something to actually build some muscles so that when you're 65 and a grandparent, you can get down on the ground with your grandchild and not fear about getting up off the ground because you have no tricep muscles. Take care of the vehicle you've been given. It's not too late. When you start to take care, you're going to start to feel this. You're going to start to feel energy and clarity and creativity and confidence. I want you to succeed in the dreams and the hopes that matter. But to do that, you got to take care of the vehicle that's going to get you there. So don't be a Pinto broken down on the side of the road, unable to live the life you dream about. No, be a Porsche or be a Honda. Be well-maintained. Grip the road with zeal and passion. And if you need help, come into the body shop. Let's help you. Let's give you an overhaul that will actually work. No gimmicky diets. No dumb workout programs that, belong on weirdness on Instagram. Real things that work. Real things that you like. That's the joy of finding activities that you like, that will build some muscle, keep you healthy. If that's you, if you need help, then reach out. Let's get you back to peak performance. Let's get you back on the road again, dreaming and living and experiencing life with the wind in your hair. Or if you're like me, the wind on your scalp. You're not too busy. You are not too busy to care for the one vehicle you've been given. You're not too busy to take care of your body. This is the Spartan Body Mind Podcast. If you want more insights, join us over on our free Facebook group, the Spartan Body Mind. If you need coaching or some mind work, body, mind, soul, whatever you need, reach out to us. Link below. We'd love to set up a coaching call and see if we might be of help. Until next time.